Ritchie's Fabulae Faciles, episode 9.4. In this final episode of this particular section of Ritchie, we're going to analyze from Pakos down through the end, Kefe I Descessit. But first we'll give a quick review of this portion. Perseus, after he descended to the shore, he first took off his sandals. Then to the cliff he came, where Andromeda had been chained. You should follow along if you have watched the previous sentences, and see if you can translate it, or even read it in your mind without translating, as I move quickly through it. She, however, meaning Andromeda, had put off all hope of safety, and when Perseus arrived, she was almost half dead with fear. He immediately loosed her chains and gave the girl back to her father. Cepheus, because of this development, with the greatest joy, was overwhelmed. Deserved thanks for such a great kindness he gave to Perseus. In addition, Andromeda herself he gave to Perseus for marriage. He, Perseus, gladly received this gift and married the girl. Now the new material. Pacosanos cum uxora sua in ea regione habitabat, et in magno honora erdra apud omnis Aethiopes. Magnoper tamen matrem suam rursus vide recupiebat, tandem igitur cum uxora sua e regno Kefe I Descessit. For a few years, Pakos Anos, with his own wife, in that region he dwelt, and in great honor he was held among all the Ethiopians. Greatly, however, his own mom he desired to see again. Therefore at last, with his own wife, from the kingdom, the realm of Cepheus, he departed. So that was a pretty simple and straightforward translation. Now let's look at some of the grammar. We begin with Pakos Anos, and we might think initially, which is reasonable, that this is the direct object. But as we get further along and we come to the verb, habitabat, we remember that this verb is intransitive, meaning it doesn't take an object. Another clue is that anos is a word that has to do with time. And so as it turns out, Pakos anos, masculine plural, is an accusative of the duration of time, for many years. And then we have two prepositional phrases, with his own wife, in ea regione. Maybe not the best style to enjam or juxtapose these prepositional phrases, but it's not unheard of in good classical prose either. For a few years with his own wife in that region, both cum and in here taking ablative objects, uxora sua, ea regione, he was dwelling. That's a first conjugation verb, habito habitare, here in the imperfect tense. You can tell by the BA. And, now another prepositional phrase, in great esteem he was held. Now erat, of course, is from sum or esse, but in context we might want to say idiomatically, he was held in great esteem, apud, among all the Ethiopians. This is masculine plural and accusative because that's the case apud takes. Nevertheless, tamen, greatly, magnopera, that's an adverb. His own mother, matrem suam, we don't have the subject stated because it goes all the way back here to ille, it carries through all these sentences. His own mother, again, rursus, he wanted to see, vide recupiebat, he was desiring to see. The object of kupiebat is the verbal noun, videre, the infinitive, and the object of the verbal noun videre is matrem suam. This is an imperfect from the third conjugation io verb kupio, kupere, like so. And now the last sentence of this particular paragraph. Therefore at last. Now don't confuse tamen with tandem. Therefore at last, cum uxora sua e regno. Notice we're having prepositional phrases again, practicing those. Cum uxora sua in ea regione, with his own wife, from, a or x, showing the sense of origin, from the kingdom, regno, a neuter singular ablative, the kingdom of Cepheus, Kefe I, a masculine singular and genitive, he departed, descessit. Now this is the perfect of the third conjugation verb discedo and discedere, which means to withdraw or to go away. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the lesson, please press the like button. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment.